Like, for real, like, my nephew, I picked my nephew up from school one time.
Yeah.
And I just went like this, when he got in the car. He goes,
Yeah.
Uncle Sal, how come old people make this noise? I was like, you watch your step, okay? But also,
you watch your tongue, young man.
You ain't wrong though. Listen to every old man go like this. It don't matter what they're doing. Just
don't matter.
Always clearing the throat. Not gonna say nothing.
Last Sunday when, because my friend over here, they're having their baby here pretty soon, in like probably 2 or 3 weeks. But so I got him like some butter pecan bluebell for Father's Day.
Ooh, whatever
Dude,
father
his brother
wants.
called them out so bad.
Oh, because it's the old man ice
like,
cream?
You're old now? We
Yeah.
looked at each other and laughed. I was like, dang, bro.
Hey, butter pecan is an old man ice cream, and you know what? I love it.
Love it.
It's so good. They don't know.
They don't know, man. They're too focused on chocolate and sprinkles, man.
Chocolate. They want bubble gum ice cream. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
No.
Chew that.
It ain't gonna melt.
It's gonna hurt your teeth.
Go ahead. You gotta hurt your back.
Yeah.
I got coffee.
Got some tea. I don't have a Dutch Bros there yet, do you?
We don't have a Dutch Bros, but it's coming, right? Like, it's taking over the world, dude.
Dude, tell me, like, so where I used to live, because I know Summer Moon's there.
We got Summer Moon.
I used to have Summer Moon. Well, it used to be pretty accessible to where I was, but where I live now, there's no way without having to get on the highway to go to one.
To get it, yeah.
To go to Summer Moon, but I got like 2 Dutch Bros that are pretty close by, so like,
I don't know.
Dutch Bros friends.
I mean, it's like it was all a craze for a little bit, and I was like, I don't know what's happening here. Is it like regular coffee plus Red Bull, or is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that what it is, or is it just a coffee shop, or is it like a crazy?
I think it's just like a coffee shop, but I think it's more like it's the vibe that they give off.
Okay.
I think it's that like that college-y type vibe to it. They do have the mangonada though.
What?
Yeah, mangonada with tajin.
They don't know. How do they know about that? They're Dutch, bro. There's no there's no mango nada in
mango
Dutch land.
Somebody took a trip to Mexico and they're like, you know what? I want to buy this.
I want this on everything.
They went to go buy coffee beans and came back with mangonada.
It's an acquired taste. I used to not like the old tajin and chili powder stuff, but dude, on everything, son. Watermelon.
Everything.
On mango. I put it on you remember you used to like just carry it around like
the little shaker.
The little shaker.
Lick.
Lick your hand and then throw it on. And so it was like, let me taste it. And you go, lick your hand right here.
Give me some of that, man. I'm getting it.
It's like, oh, it's spicy. Oh, it's dude. You be in that bus heading to school, eating tajin. Yeah, gross, dude. Like, you just got through brushing your teeth. Come on.
Oh, man, dude.
Wild West.
Time.
You know what else is wild? This show. I need to put me on, I need to get myself on, Do Not Disturb. Yeah, I'm getting disturbed here.
Oh, yeah, this show is wild.
All right. Let me, give me a couple more seconds here. We need to keep chatting
together.
You know how you're like you barely wake up.
Yeah.
And you take your phone is ringing, and so and it's somebody that you gotta like, oh, I gotta pretend I've been awake for like 2 hours already. So, but you can't shake the voice. You're like, that's a you just woke up.
Yeah. Like, no, you're not. You just woke up.
I'm just outside in my garden, gardening.
Yeah.
No. You're laying down. I can tell that you're fully horizontal. Okay.
I'll have some days where I'm like on my days off, like I'll be like to the sleep, and I wake up, like I see a call, and it's like from my boss, but like I just see the name, like I answer, it's like, yo, yeah. I was like, I'm on my way. He's like, what are you talking about? We're off today. It's like, oh yeah. It's like, why you calling me?
I'm on my way to Dutch Bros. yeah. I'm on my way.
Yeah. Don't even know what you're saying yeah to.
I miss those days of like being able to sleep that hard, bro. Like, I think there was one time I was sleeping so hard my phone was ringing. I answered the phone in my sleep, but with my hand. You know how like
you go like this?
You go like this for a phone call?
Yeah.
I had my hand in the shape of a phone and I was like trying to answer the phone, and then to where I finally woke up and I had my hand up to my
like this,
face,
like you're talking.
And I was like, what the heck is wrong with this phone? And I go, oh yeah, that's right. Elon Musk hasn't invented the phone hand yet.
Yeah, he hasn't. He hasn't upgraded the Neuralink for it yet.
Yeah. By the way, kids don't hold their hand up like this.
Yeah, no, they go like this.
Yeah, they put their hand in the shape of like kung fu grip.
Yeah, like
that's how they answer the phone.
Yeah,
like they don't do it like this. They don't do the thumb to the ear, pinky to the mouth.
Boom, click. Hey,
yeah. Yeah. This is like a landline, though. If you think about it, that's a landline. Like we're picking up a big old brick of a phone. Yeah. You know, like that's.
I always equate it to like that, or like how the old flip phones used to be. You flip down the flap, and then you have to pull the antenna up. That's right.
Antenna?
We used to have an antenna on your phone.
Yeah, that's right. I mean. You know, we don't talk about they don't talk about used to it was a thing where they were like, oh, the radio waves and the microwaves and like what was the other thing, it's like it's bad for you, radiation and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like you used to be able to cook a Pop-Tart on a Nokia phone. Like you just put it on. Put it on vibrate. And have someone call you. Yeah. It's toasty. Now we don't talk about that anymore. It's happening probably still, but we just don't what, forget it. We've just accepted it. It's like, it's happening.
Yeah. I think I was watching a podcast the other day. Mm-hmm. It was Ninjas the Butterfly podcast, and they were talking about like the iPhone 12 in France got banned, I think, because they like went over their radiation, I guess, levels for what France has in the country, and it's just like, okay, yeah, that we're focused on all this like other stuff that the phones can do, but they're still like, oh yeah, that's right, there still is some like radiation or microwaves. Like we're forgetting like there's other stuff that's attached to all these advancements. And then we're putting it on our face every day. Yeah, just up to your face, up to your ear, in your pocket. You know, like they can't, what was that? It's a Geiger. Geiger. Yeah, like can I just buy one of those off of eBay and just check my phone? Because, or I could just probably YouTube it. But then that's me learning, bro. I don't, You learn it. Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done learning. We've talked about this before, Joey. We don't know. I know everything I need to know.
If I didn't learn when I was young, I would need to know it.
I don't need to know it. All right. You ready to do this or what?
All right, yeah.
Hey, look, I'm drinking coffee. We're doing this early in the morning again.
Yeah.
We're about to go out of town, so I need to have the afternoon open so that I can just do all kinds of stuff. So that's why we're doing this early.
Get all the checklists off. Okay.
Dude.
This. Anything else that we need to do?
I know. I'm like over here. Water the plants. Feed the dog. Brush your teeth. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah. All right. ODDTAXI.
All right.
In 3, 2, and 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to Anime Me Podcast. I'm joined with my co-host Sal, and we are kicking it in the summer of 2024, and it is here, guys.
It
It's
is
hot,
blazing. You know what else is hot?
blazing. What else is hot?
Anime Me. It's a podcast where we teach you how to love anime one episode at a time.
Boom, fire.
This is a fire show during a fire week because it's crazy hot. Hey, by the way, what are we calling this month? Because we were watching a bunch of animes, and we always have something. We always come up with
So
it after the fact. I got
yeah,
nothing.
there's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? I got nothing for
Uh,
this. It's Animal June.
Animal
June
G, the
anime me.
jungle.
Oh,
Welcome to the jungle.
welcome to the June.
The jungle.
It's a stretch. It's a real stretch. It's not good,
It's
but I
not
kind
good.
of like it. I kind of like it.
Guys, this is early morning brain you're getting right now. This is stuff I come up with.
Delirium. This is all we've got.
Delirious.
Okay. Welcome to the jungle.
Jungle.
Cut it,
Uh,
Jew Angel. All right, all right, all
all
right, all
right,
right,
and continue on this adventure. We have another animal furry type anime
all right.
called Odd Taxi.
Odd
Okay,
Taxi.
Odd Taxi.
By the way, you sent it to me via YouTube. You're really starting to underestimate me, Joey. You're like, oh, Sal's not gonna be able to, he doesn't know how to. I mean, I know I am an old man and all, but like, here you go, old man. This is how you watch it on the YouTubes.
On the internet.
Oh man, I
No,
had
because I didn't want you to get confused
uh-huh.
because Crunchyroll only has the movie.
Okay. You know what? I think they just added it because I found it. I think I found it on Crunchyroll. It's got the show on there. Maybe it has the show
See,
and the movie, but I watched
wait.
an episode that should be the Oh snap, Joe Angel, we're about to
Yeah.
find out.
I'm looking it up
We're
right
about
now.
to find out we're
Okay, yeah,
talking
then you
about
got it
two
on
different
there.
things. I thought
Yeah.
there was something else like I thought there was a video game called Odd Taxi or something. I was like, oh
Maybe.
snap. I'm gonna be, you could have been doing it right. I played a video game and we're about to review a video. This show is weird. It was like so many levels and I've only got 10% way through it. I think actually I remember real quick I had a friend of a friend or I guess a cousin-in-law. I don't know how to describe it, but his uncle, no, his dad. He showed his dad YouTube. He gave
Yeah.
him he downloaded the app on his phone. He's like, check out this app. He could watch all these videos because
Yeah.
he was showing these. He's like, hey, where did you find these videos? And I said, oh, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then he's downloaded the app on there. And then later on, we come to find out he asked his sons, "Hey, did you see that new video on YouTube?" And he thought that YouTube was the app that only had like certain videos for the day. It was like a video of the
Yeah.
day, and you could
Yeah.
just click on it, and it's just and YouTube was just putting out like one or two
Those
videos a day.
videos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those videos. Those, which is actually not a bad idea. Like
It's not.
limit me. Like just give
Yeah.
me like 5 videos a day. It's all I can handle.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's
But
been the thing, like recently, is like making sure you're watching your screen time, like cutting
yeah,
back
screen
on
time
it.
and stuff.
So
Right?
I
Why not?
think doing that, like just having, hey, this is all you get today.
Yeah.
So your videos.
But then they clicked on. He's like, no, look at all these videos. There's like a billion hours. Like,
Yeah.
there's no possible way you could watch all of YouTube.
All
He's
these
like,
videos.
did you see the YouTube video
Your
today?
videos. Today's top
Uh,
five.
today, yeah, I would like that. I would like that. You know what?
You what was it? TRL used to do that,
TR.
right?
Oh,
I
dude,
think
limit me, dude. Just like, you know what? I can only hear the songs on the radio. This is the only thing that's playing
yeah.
right now. This is the only music video that's out
Which,
right
by the
now.
way, they only play like 5 songs.
Yeah, they really do, really do.
Uh,
I have in my truck. I have like the free trial for Sirius or
yeah.
whatever, and there's a station on there that's called TikTok Radio. Have you ever heard anything like this?
No,
It's all the viral songs. It's all the songs that go
oh
viral
my
on
god!
TikTok, dude.
This
Oh,
got chocolate rain on there.
That's E-Bomb's World Radio, bro. You're going way back.
Way back.
You're going wow, chocolate rain. Hey, actually, I think I could probably hit it right now in the morning with my low voice.
With that low voice, dude, he's got an iconic voice, man.
Okay.
Right.
We're talking about Odd Taxi.
Taxi.
I watched a 24-minute episode, so that sounds
Yeah,
about right.
yeah, that's right.
All right, well, let me hit us with the synopsis before we get in the weeds, because we already lost in the sauce, son. And we're already halfway through the episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me clear my throat like an old man.
Oh, man, noise.
Odd Taxi. It's business as usual for privately owned taxi driver Otakawa as he drives a variety of passengers around the city. He also pays a visit to his doctor. That ain't even the show. What is this? What is this? What is this synopsis? I mean, like, he finds a stick of gum on the ground. Should he eat it? Like, what is this? Dude, there is so much more going on in this show that is like, that synopsis does a disservice. Like, I'm okay with, like, being vague and all, but,
it's vague for a vague show.
Actually, yeah, it really is. When the show starts, I wrote down, I already love this vibe. Like,
Yeah, dude, the vibes are vibing, dog.
the vibe is the vibe. It really is, because it's like, it looks fun, like cool, like there's like watercoloring kind of painting on the with the show opening, and then the song is got this like Japanese hip hop chill hop vibe.
Yeah, dude,
right?
it's like so it fits with summertime. It's like it is a summertime song.
It's a summertime song, like it's like it's real low key, but it's like yeah, I could chill to it. Like I could probably like
this is what you would hear when you're watching like a montage of people getting ready to go to the beach or driving around the city. It's that vibe.
Yeah, or it also reminds me of taking a summer class, and I need to go to YouTube and find some music to put on.
But for your
This is
presentation,
everybody else is chilling out and
Yeah.
doing like fun stuff, and I'm doing homework. But I
yeah,
I put this
stick to
on.
the library.
I put this on to escape a little bit. Like I wish I was out there.
Yeah,
And then and you could even leave that the credits, the intro, like the little watercolor painting, and it's got this kind of like hand drawn look to it that I'm like, oh, is this what it's gonna look like? It looks nothing like
nah.
this. The show
Nothing
looks
like it.
maybe a little bit like the as you watch the show, the background has this kind of roughed edged kind of quality to it. The drawings don't themselves. The drawings are pretty clean and kind of sharp, but the background has this kind of like painterly look to it.
Yeah.
But then also some of it is kind of three-dimensional, like the cars. You can tell that the cars are probably like not CGI. I don't know what you would consider that.
I would say kind of like it's
3D.
almost like 3D-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some CGI because it's not as like how B-Stars look. It's not like
Yeah.
that type of
Yeah.
CGI.
Mm-mm.
It's like
Remember how Futurama?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like Futurama. Yeah,
yeah,
it has
they're
those
all
vibes.
drawn. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
all drawn, but then like the spaceships and all the other
yeah.
little things that kind of move around are
It
kind
had
of
like a more like 3D CGI-ness to it.
the way they move, it's
Yeah.
really smooth. I think that's kind of like the I also thought that this was going to be a musical. I don't know what the synopsis gives you nothing. Then the vibe of the
Yeah.
beginning of it doesn't give you much either. And then there's like the beginning there's like a package that's being thrown down into the water, something tied to it,
Yeah.
like ominous. But then they just brush past that really quickly. And then there's like stuff in the background, like it's
It's like no dialogue in the
yeah,
beginning. It's just
yeah.
like a song playing.
There's a song playing. There's also like there's some stuff going on the radio, like somebody's missing.
Yeah.
And then there's a package being thrown in the water. But they're like kind of brushing over everything. Like it's really it's an undertone. Everything's like
Yeah.
kind of happening underneath what's actually happening on the show. Like he's just a walrus.
Yeah.
And by the way, I am the walrus.
The walrus.
I am the walrus. Like he's like annoyed by these youngsters. He's like an old guy driving a taxi.
He is. He's a straight up old head dog.
Yeah, he's old head, but also he's also like kind of in the know a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there's some stuff that happens later on, but like he's just picking up people and dropping off people and like visiting his doctor, but then like there's stuff. He goes home for like maybe lunch or dinner or something like that. Or it's they make it seem like nothing's going on, like in the show,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting. But then there's something
Yeah,
mysterious.
it's a mystery. It's a lot of like setup happening
Yeah,
right now. Like a
yeah.
bunch of like moving parts are going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
said,
Mis
dialogue is key in this
mis
anime.
yeah,
Yeah,
misdirection.
yeah.
So I watched the whole show, take some notes, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and
Watch
watch
it.
a little
See.
bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, to see. And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to pick up some stuff. Like this is there's some subtleties to the whole
Yeah.
thing that I'm like, I was legit intrigued. You know what else got me intrigued here? His name. Did you watch this with the is it the same in the sub and the dub? Joe,
Otokawa.
there is one. Let me count them. One, two, three, four, like five or six different spellings. Did you pick it up? Like in the I watched with the caption just to see how
Yeah.
far off they are, and it seemed like they were kind of like the on YouTube. YouTube will do that like
Their
it just
own
yeah,
kind
but
of.
I think it just picks it up. Like it
Yeah.
just like this like AI. They're using some sort of
Yeah.
AI, and it just picks it up like
It's
audibly.
very. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not like the actual like someone's not typing it out.
Yeah.
And so I was like, is that what's happening on the show? Because they called him Old Akawa. That was one spelling. Then there's Otogawa. Then somebody else called him Motokawa. Then there was an Itakawa. I'm like,
This is
and then
when you're trying to do speech to text, but it's not spelling.
yeah,
It's having a hard
yeah.
time spelling what you're saying.
The spell check on this
Yeah.
thing? They're all over the place. And then one of the one of the kids that he picks up who's like trying to go viral or
Yeah.
trying to he says something about a police stop, but
Yeah.
it's spelled please stop.
Please
Like,
stop.
oh, a police stop. Oh, that's a police stop. And I'm like, what is this? What is the
Yeah, I think this is like it's either the AI that
right?
YouTube uses to generate these captions, but because I've noticed even on some, like, because I'll throw some on every now and then just to
Hmm.
see, and it's like really ridiculous. I'm like, they clearly said this thing, but you're
Yeah.
saying this thing.
Yeah.
You're clearly
Well,
misdirected.
by the way, I did find this on Crunchyroll. So
Yeah,
I watched this on Crunchyroll and I watched it with the captions on in the dub, of course, because,
you
dub
know,
only. Dub only, you know. But maybe
you
though,
got
because I wonder what you think about it, see if I missed anything. But it felt all right in the dub. Like I felt like I got a lot of stuff. I got the subtlety. You could kind of pick up on tone. I didn't think that anything
yeah,
kind of fell flat as some of it is being executed, except for there was one part I was like, I wonder how they would like how this would sound in the Japanese, which
yeah.
I probably need to go back and watch.
His voice is a little bit more like old manish, I would
In,
say,
in the
in the Japanese
okay,
dub. Because I feel like in the Japanese dub with his voice, he sounds older than the guy they got to voice him in the English dub.
okay,
Yeah. So it feels like
okay.
he's more, to me, it feels like he's more older in the Japanese dub than he is in the English dub. But overall, it's pretty much kind of the same tone as far as his character goes. Because
Hmm.
he's like a pretty, like, just straight shooter, old man
Yeah,
character, doesn't
yeah.
care.
Yeah, he doesn't like. I think he's in his taxi and he's with that
Yeah.
kid and the kid asks him a question and he takes forever.
Yeah, the
Like
answer.
that's a that's a real old man thing to do.
Yeah.
Like you ask an old man a question and he has to think about his whole life before
Like
he answers. And he
every
says that he
single
goes,
decision I made.
yeah, it really is. I have an old neighbor that lives across the way, and he doesn't like me to call him by his last name. Mr. So and so. He wants me
Yeah,
to call him by his first name,
yeah.
and so I've called him by his last name before, and he was across the street, and he walked all the way. He didn't say anything.
He
He
just
kept eye contact with
walks.
me. He walked real slow. Got up to my yard. It took him like probably 5 minutes, and he was like, "Hey, you call me Danny, all right?" And then he walked away. I was like, "Oh my gosh, dude, I got time. I got 5 minutes to watch you walk all the way over here just to make a
Yeah, I'm
point."
standing here trying to get something done, and you're just
Yeah,
like, "What is this old man gonna say? Does he have a question? Does he
yeah,
like
he got
gonna
something
ask me something?"
important. He's
Yeah,
like, "Hey, you call me
give me
Danny, all
daddy.
right?" All right, all right.
Listen
You could,
here, listen here, you young whippersnapper.
yeah, yeah. He called, yo, snipper lapper. Listen here, Sonny.
Oh man,
You know what else is really great about this show? And I've noticed this about a lot of the just animes in general. Because, I told you not too long ago, I spent $50 at a flea market to get a surround sound.
Yeah.
And these shows do really great with surround sound. And even
Mhm.
this show, like it's just like there's not a lot going on. There's not like craziness, but like I listened to this with my headphones on and I could hear the cars in behind me. I can hear
Yeah.
them going from left to right. I hear the conversation when he gets pulled over and he's talking to the twin cops.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't know what some of these animals are. Like you could tell that he's an animal because he's got different nose and
Yeah.
different ears. But I'm like, I don't know what you are. What
I
are
think
they?
the cops are dogs, I think.
You think they're dogs?
I think they're
That
dogs.
would
Yeah.
make sense if they are cops to be dogs, but like, the surround sound is really great. Like it's very subtle, in its delivery and it doesn't need to like be crazy or anything because it's like a chill
Yeah.
show, a mystery show, but like it sounds really good. Like I go, this show has no business being this
This is
this
good.
this good in the sound. The sound engineering is top
Yeah, it's
notch.
top notch on this. Yes. Some like so some animes they're like when you really look at it and get into them, they're like really, really detailed
Mm-hmm.
as far as like getting the background noises right,
Mm-hmm.
getting
Yeah.
the feel of it right, getting the dialogue. Like even when it comes to like sometimes when they're talking in certain places or whatever, they kind of focus on all right, let's they're in this place, so we have to make it sound like they're in this place.
Speaking of a
Yeah.
place, is this an actual town, you think? Because we see an overview
Yeah.
shot and they're like driving around.
Yeah.
And I think
Uh,
they even mention like a town too. Like
yeah, I think so.
they,
Yeah.
they,
I think it may be there might be some changes here and there, but
it's got to be based off
it's
of an
it's
actual
got to be
place.
yeah, there's it looks pretty similar to some other places that we've seen. And like I said before, like they all take inspiration from their surroundings, so it's all,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
It's got to be based on something.
Yeah.
He's driving around town. He's
Mm.
going over bridges. They have a top-down shot of him in the city with some lights and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It feels like a real like the way the streets are drawn. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a weird way to put like a little like a different little lane and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't just come up with that with like
Yeah.
yourself. Like
Yeah.
you got to use some references.
Yeah.
Speaking of references, do you know he's in the doctor's office and they talk about We Are the World
Yeah.
and they talk about Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah.
Do you have any like I was like, "Oh, this is not I don't know who wrote this, but that ain't for everybody." Like I
Yeah.
love We Are the World and I've
Yeah.
watched
Yeah.
tons of stuff on it. Did you
On
know what
it.
they were talking about? They were referencing?
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
look it
yeah. The
up?
We Are the World song. Yeah, that's when Mikey J just got everybody he could
Yeah,
come
dude.
see.
Yes. Because they mentioned he says something about like he's just like comes on a little strong,
Yeah.
like Bruce
Bruce
Springsteen and
Springsteen, the
and
world.
we
Yeah.
are the world. And I'm like, he does, dude. Bruce Springsteen is like he's like a mainstay
On
on
that
that
song.
song. And he
Yeah.
comes in like everybody else is like singing beautifully.
Yeah.
But when Bruce Springsteen comes in, he comes in all gravelly and like, but he's hitting it though. He's
Yeah.
delivering. The man is
She's
like, he's doing his own thing. It's so
he
funny
like
though.
it's just like Bruce just got there. All right, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Is this my part? All right, I got you.
yeah. Don't share anything
Yeah.
else that anybody else is singing. I'm just give me my my
Just give
cue
me
and
my
I'm
part.
coming.
Just let me know when I'm
I'm
coming
coming
in.
in.
Right
I
here?
don't want
All
to
right.
hear what's everybody else doing. Who cares what they're doing? I'm
Okay.
doing what I'm doing.
And
I'm the
they
boss.
had that conversation too, where like, oh well, Bruce recorded his before Stevie did. Like they're
Yeah,
having
yeah.
that conversation of the differences between everybody in
Yeah.
that song.
So whoever wrote this,
Yeah.
they knew. They did some background on this and like understand that song and there this is an aside, but by the way, you can watch some like little clips of videos on YouTube
Yeah.
and you can watch Michael Jackson's reaction to some people like singing. You have to find some of the behind the scenes stuff, but
Yeah.
he's like rolling his eyes at some of the
It's
people
like,
like you guys are not doing it. I'm sorry I
you,
even asked.
guys, please,
Uh,
please, guys.
that's not how Michael Jackson really sounded, bro. He had a low voice. He had this voice right here. So he get that walrus.
Yeah,
But
chocolate rain voice.
yeah, but then he ended up being milk.
Yeah.
Just regular
Oh,
old white milk. Okay. So I
but
think
I do love that part in the doctor's office
uh
because it is how you could tell Odokawa's an old head because they're
yeah.
talking about some I guess meditation type stuff because I'm
Hmm.
guessing we're getting idea that he's probably having trouble sleeping, so they're having him do all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And the chick there, the nurse, she asked him, it's like, "Oh, do you listen to that on online and stuff?" And he goes, "Online." It's like, "No, I listen to cassettes."
Yeah,
Oh
on
the guy,
tapes.
he's such an old head, bro.
He said something about like, because the doctor's like, hey, these
Yeah,
kids don't know anything about cassettes and stuff.
yeah.
And then Otakala comes in and
Sorry,
he
list off
goes,
everything. Was it
yeah,
sonophone?
yeah, record players, all this stuff. It's
Record.
like, we know what they are. We just
Yeah,
never had our hands on it. So
yeah.
he goes, don't hit me with that, like
Generation gap
generation
BS.
gap BS. And I'm like, that's actually kind of a like a new age thing to think. Like,
Yeah,
we know about this stuff. They
yeah.
should know about it too. But then it's an old man thing to think.
Oh, that's old. What are you?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. What are you talking about?
yeah, it really does. Like this anime does bring a lot of that out, like the generational differences for like
Yeah.
stuff like us. We know what it is. We've seen it,
Mm-hmm.
but when it, I think it that all stems from like how quickly we advance as like far as technology and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like we went from having a big old box inside your car for a phone to
Mm-hmm.
like the new mini iPhone like coming out,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
it with how long it's been in like our generation and our lifetime, like how far and quickly we advance. It's just like okay, I could understand why the younger kids nowadays probably wouldn't understand because as soon as we like hit a certain point, stuff just started coming out and coming out and coming out
Yeah.
to where
Yeah.
it was pushing everything like to non-existence
It's
basically.
accelerated. I think that's the
Yeah,
thing. Well, like we've accelerated from one point to another, and the way like things become obsolete and things are
yeah,
replaced, and how we have like just the newer thing, the next thing
yeah,
is happening even faster now.
yeah,
Like it's just because I mean, dude, I remember like buying a separate camera. I had a
yeah,
camera. You know what I'm saying? Like I had
yeah,
that. And then and if you had there was a point in time when
yeah,
people would have a camera and a Discman or a
yeah,
tape cassette player
yeah.
and a phone.
Oh,
And so like you'd have to be carrying a bunch of stuff
yeah.
and now all you have to do is carry one thing.
One
You know what I'm
thing
saying?
for everything.
And that one
Yeah,
thing is the camera. It is
yeah,
I mean, I sound like an old man and of course
yeah,
we already know all this stuff, but
yeah.
but if you live through it though,
Yeah.
like
If
it's
you
a
live
whole
through it,
different
you're just like, oh, it's crazy how
yeah,
far.
you have no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it doesn't seem that long ago. It's like,
yeah,
well, I'm not that old. I mean,
yeah,
I sound old, but
yeah.
it's just because it's early in the morning,
It's just because it's early.
And I'm drinking coffee straight up, like nothing in it. Look at this. It's dark as can be.
Yeah. And it also goes back to where in the beginning where he picks up the kid and they're talking, he's asking him, because he's telling him I need to post something viral. And Otakar like,
Mm-hmm.
why? Why are you wasting your time doing that? He's like, because my friends,
Mm-hmm.
they've all done it and they get into that conversation up to what society is like nowadays. Because the
Yeah.
kid goes, because be going viral and doing this stuff shows how valuable you are right now in this day and age.
Yeah.
Like it shows like what you bring, like it's basically like tells the world, hey, I'm here, this is me, it gives me value, it raises me up. And he lists off this is what the world is now. Like this is what
Yeah.
you have to do if you want to be valuable. And Otakai's just like, oh, straight old man, that's stupid.
Yeah. That's
That's
stupid.
dumb.
Yeah. It is interesting too because the kid jumps in his taxi and he asks him to turn the radio off, and I'm
Yeah.
like, how many kids these days don't even listen to the radio?
Yeah.
Like I even find myself hardly ever listening to the radio, and it's just because we've moved away from that where we just go like, well, I could stream exactly what I want to
Yeah.
hear.
Or
I
like your
can
phone
dictate that.
automatically just connects to your car as soon
Connect.
as you
Yeah.
turn it on, and
Uh-huh.
whatever
Uh-huh.
you're listening to just comes up.
And here, Otakawa is like in his taxi, listening
Yeah,
to the radio on the regular,
yeah,
and this young kid goes, "Turn that off." Like I'm trying to think here and trying to do
yeah,
something. It's like, yeah, it's a different. That just shows the age gap and like the differences, and it also shows that this person, whoever wrote this, kind of gets that, a
yeah,
little bit, like just that little subtle thing
yeah.
that's the
Like they
difference in
understand kind
age
of
and
both sides of the
yeah,
generation.
yeah.
Which, by the way, I do listen to the radio at work a lot,
Hmm.
especially like morning talk shows. There's a station I listen to every morning called KLBJ, and it's these guys from here, and they just talk about everything you can think about. Like it's on a rock station.
Okay.
And but these guys are just talking. It's like three guys, and then they're just talking about what's going on in city, what's going on in rock and roll, and then just like they had different segments. So like on Tuesdays they have a thing called Toxic Tuesday, to
Yeah.
where they just talk about like they're exaggerating, they're they're making jokes and stuff, but they're actually like behind underlay, they're like bringing up like, hey guys, these are the toxic stuff that we need to work on, and not just like as a society, like the toxicity of
Yeah.
society, like hey, this is
They get deep.
we're making fun of it, but really we're bringing this up because this is something that we
It's
need to work
important.
on as a society.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, but it is cool because they bring in like a bunch of comedians to talk to, and but and so like for me, it's like that part is like, yeah, I can understand, which is why I love that little aspect of bringing up that they use the talk show to bring up that underline of hey, somebody's missing, because they're talking about
Yeah.
the local news, like hey, there's a squirrel missing, which signals to you like hey, there's probably a subplot going on if they're focusing, if this is, if the volume of this is up to where you can hear what they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, like there's something
Yeah,
these there are some important things that they're actually
yeah,
showing, and it's not just like a, a mundane
yeah.
thing or like a just a throwaway thing. There's actually like because
There's a
there's a
meaning
part
to it.
the doctor goes to a bar, he has
Yeah,
a call from his one of his nurses, and he's
yeah,
like she tells him, "Hey, there's some medicine that's missing here. Like a lot of it. Like it's all
yeah.
missing." And he's like, what happened to it? Like where's it at?" No idea.
No
They don't
idea.
resolve this yet. This is just
Yeah,
like an open-ended thing. There's a missing girl, open-ended. There is a package that falls into the water,
mm,
open-ended. Like there are some things that happen, which I
yeah,
think should we know? Should we know right now? Oh, by the way, spoilers, right?
yeah.
Spoilers,
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 spoilers. Yeah,
spoilers. I think I kind of we kind of get like where we are at the end of the show,
yeah.
right? Like we kind of like okay, but we don't have motivations.
Nah, yeah, nah. Because
So,
there's so a lot of it's insinuating, especially with the cops.
mm-hmm,
Uh, Going back to the cops, so it's the brothers, and
mm-hmm,
there's a line that Oikawa says, because the cops ask him, "Hey, have you seen this guy who's like this famous gangbanger?" And
mm-hmm.
Oikawa says, "Why are you asking me? Aren't you friends?" And the brother of the cop that's asking is all like, "What's he
What are you
talking
talking about?
about?"
Yeah, yeah.
He's just like, he kind of brushes it off. He tells his brother, it's like, don't listen to him. Taxi drivers are, can't be trusted. They don't know what they're
Yeah.
talking about. He's just crazy. And then it goes back to the end of the episode where he's like searching over Kyle's car, and he's like, basically like, hey, we're doing this investigation and you're like prime suspect right now
Yeah.
because she was in your cab and stuff like that. He takes the SD card from his dashboard camera,
Uh-huh.
and then tells them, just basically just giving them like, hey, I got my eye on you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then at
You
the
are
very end, you see the gang member, so to speak, and then
I think he's a baboon. I think he's a
I think
baboon.
it's a baboon, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just see the
A
SD
little
card and the envelope that switch
mm-hmm.
hands out in
Yep.
public. And so it's just like, okay, is he a
A-
bad cop? Is there something else going on with him?
It's
Like, is
got
he
it.
dirty?
It seems like it.
Yeah.
Because I wrote down in all caps. Oh, snap.
Oh,
The
snap.
switch.
The
The
switch.
switch. The switch.
So
You know, like
so with that, like at that end, it seems like, okay, are they just trying to set up Odokawa?
yeah,
But
like
then
he's
again,
trying
it
to
goes back to earlier in the episode where he's at his apartment, and it's like he's talking to somebody in his closet because the closet he's sliding
Yes.
the gap and he keeps looking, saying stuff, and it's just like,
Nothing coming from the closet,
yeah,
by the way.
nothing
They
coming
don't
from the
hear.
closet, just all Odokawa talking, and it's
Yeah.
like, all right, does he have something to do with this missing girl? Because like a
Yeah.
lot of this stuff seems to be pointing towards him.
I mean, I'm not gonna just go ahead and just put it out there. Maybe it's just because it's early in the morning, but these animals, they're coming around on me, Joe Angel.
Coming around.
I want that walrus head. You know what I'm
That
saying?
part.
Like, I think I could do if I were deciding to be a furry,
Yeah.
it'd probably be a walrus. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is, it's nice and obscure. You could drape something over the top of
Yeah.
you. If I had a costume and I needed a costume, I'd probably want to wear a walrus costume. It just seems roomy. It seems like
Roomy. Yeah.
yeah, it's not
The
form
walruses don't
fitting.
really move anyway, so you just
It's
lay
just
back,
odd,
kick
dude.
back,
Lazy. You know what I'm saying?
lazy.
Like that's got to be like I don't know if they have like the S tier,
That's tier list. The
yeah,
furries.
tier list of like of animals.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, and if he's F tier or something like that,
Yeah.
low tier because he is lazy, I'm all about it, son. Like
All about it, son.
that's why I am the walrus. Uh, yeah, the show is it's I had no idea. Like it is far more intriguing than I gave it credit for initially. You look at the cover of it and you go, "Oh, we're just gonna watch another like silly little,
See a
show,"
little
but
anime about animals.
and it is there is some silliness and some funniness, like some comedy here and there, but also the mystery behind it is it's really well paced. I think that's the thing about it that I like. I kind of like I wrote down notes, and at a certain point I just found myself kind of watching, and I'm like, oh crap, I need to write something down here.
Yeah.
Because it's intriguing. It caught me, and I think that's why I would say like these animals are kind of coming around on me, because I didn't even like I got caught up in the story that I didn't care that this llama looked like she was wearing a hat. I was like, oh, that's just a person wearing a scarf. I'm like, no, that's her fur. Yeah. I was like, oh, this show. It's like I found myself enveloped in it. Like a lot of times, like any kind of show or movie. I'm always expecting to kind of, I try to suspend my disbelief, because I want to be enveloped in the show, in the movie. I want to be like, ground this enough for me to kind of believe it so that I could kind of like lose myself in it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I found myself losing myself a little bit in this show because I was really like invested in, trying to figure this out. Like there's a puzzle going on here, and I need to try to like see if I could pick up on some of the subtleties, because that's the thing. The answers are in the subtlety, and if you're watching those little things and hearing them what they say, and like the double meaning behind some of the stuff, then you're gonna pick up on some of it. So you have to be there for that. And dude, bravo to these guys, because they did it. They did it. I'm now a furry.
These guys took me over the threshold.
Yeah, and I'm a detective. They turned me into both of those. This show turned me into a furry detective. Doing, how dare you? I'm quitting my job. I'm getting a costume.
Right.
Hit me with some facts, Joe Angel. We've talked way too long about the show.
All right, get into the facts. So, this actually is mainly an anime by itself.
Oh, okay.
So it came out in April of 2021.
Okay,
So
it felt new, because they had said something earlier, like, what'd they say? Something about like, oh, that's top tier cringe.
Yeah.
And I go, people say that, like, that's a young person thing. Oh, this is so cringe.
Yeah, which gives the fact that like, okay, now you kind of get understanding of why it's so relatable right now with what they're talking about, with what's being said and stuff going on.
Yeah, yeah.
And so this was directed and storyboarded by Baku Kinoshita, and it was written by Kazuya Konomoto, and the character designs, how they look and stuff, were created by Konomoto and Hiromi Nakayama. And then all the music composition and stuff was a collaboration between OMSB, Pun P, and Vava. So all the little musical stuff, aspects,
in betweens and all that stuff.
Those were the three people that did that. And so 13 episodes.
That's it.
That's it.
What? Like, we're talking like
start to finish, done.
Oh,
13 episodes.
Yeah. So, okay, so like at first I was watching this show and I was thinking like, oh, this seems like it's gonna be like a Taxi Driver, where he just like has an adventure or has people and has a story, and that gets wrapped up, and then we have a next episode. But this seems like no, but this seems like it's gonna be
like one linear, start to finish, 13.
Start to finish, and we're gonna figure out all the stuff that's happening by the end of the 13th episode. Ooh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And so the opening song is actually called All Taxi. The opening song is called All Taxi, and it's performed by Skirt and DJ Pun P.
Hey, is Skirt spelled SKRT? Because if it's not, then I don't want to hear it.
Should have been.
Dude, it's a good song.
Yes. I tell you, it's a vibe, man.
Yeah,
and then the ending song is called Sugarless Kiss, and that is by Suzuku Momori.
I love when they do this whole like, I'm Japanese, but I'm gonna sing in English a little bit. It's so good, dude. Like,
love it.
They're like really trying. And I'm here for it.
Here for it. Oh man! And so the studios that animated and produced this were OLML and PICS. So like the animation and stuff, those done by those studios.
Hmm.
And like I said earlier, there is a movie, an animated movie called All Taxi in the Woods that came out in April of 2022. And essentially, what that is just like a retelling of the whole story in like one go.
Oh, cool.
So they just like they basically just compiled and compacted X, and so the end is going to be different. As far as you get a little bit more for the ending part.
Have you seen both? Have you seen this show all the way through and the movie, or?
Yeah,
Okay, because we've talked about this before, and I don't know if I haven't seen that yet, because of
yeah,
course, straight up brand new, bro.
brand new.
Brand new over here. Are they just copying and pasting like some of the stuff straight out of the anime, or are they reanimating
So
the
they for the
show? You
movie they
know?
brought back the director and the staff. Like they brought
Mm-hmm.
back all for this movie.
Okay.
So they're the director, the writer and stuff, the original people that did it
Mm-hmm.
are coming came back and like, all right, let's figure out a way to make this story more linear with one whole movie. We as far
Mm-hmm.
as say, or we had 13 episodes to tell the story. Now that we basically have the story, let's rework it, twill it down, and see what we could do and make it into the movie factor of it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm guessing. I mean, you have to do some new scenes, but it just seems like, oh well, if we've already got this whole like 13 episode
Yeah,
thing, then we could just kind of like pull clips
yeah,
from
copy
the
full
show.
clip. Now, I think for the most part,
They probably redraw
they
it
just
all and
redraw it and reanimate it. Because, like I said, they'll have to. Some stuff is with episodes. So with episodes themselves, there's the main studio, but
hmm
then the key animators, the actual animators, will kind of differ throughout the episodes.
hmm
And so there'll be like one key animator for this episode. Maybe the next episode will be a key different animator. So it's
Okay,
almost
yeah.
essentially the same, but there's little like subtleties and differences that you can tell and pick up. And so for this, they kind of, at least this aspect, they just kind of redo it as a whole. And so
Uh, Surely they're gonna have to come back and make this into a manga.
they did make it
R-
a manga.
No, hey, look how good I am. Look how good I'm
Look,
getting so good. Are
getting
you proud
so
of me?
good. Proud of you, man. Especially for being this early in the morning.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
aware, baby. Look, I'm
aware.
sharp. I'm sharp. Look, hey, I'm doing it. Okay, go ahead.
Got it. And so the manga adaptation was, of course, written by the writer Konomoto, and it was illustrated by Abaraya Takichi. And so this came out, actually came out before the anime got released, but the
Mm-hmm.
anime was finished first before the release date is.
Okay.
So, and basically it's just it's 5 volumes. You can go buy and check them out. But it's basically, just another storytelling, another version. And then of course there was a light novel that came out that was
Of
written
course.
by Wakui Manabu, but he based it off Konomoto's script. And so another different aspect. And then so cool thing about this, there's an audio drama that came out concurrently with the anime.
Audio drama.
So it's all audio.
Is it interesting?
And so what
Like on, can you get it on cassette? Like just like the,
you
that's what I
actually go
want.
to the official YouTube page for All Taxi and they have
Uh-huh.
it on there because there's so I'll throw this part out there. In the anime there's a pin that's been bugged.
Uh-huh.
And so the audio drama is all the recordings from that bugged pin. So you're hearing
Oh,
all these
that's
conversations from this pin that's bugged.
okay, that's a dope
Yeah.
aspect, dude. Like that is like top tier thinking ahead.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
oh, or like just thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Like that's brilliant, dude. Like that is like if it's not just like the most the bestest marketing idea ever, like
Yeah.
I wonder if do you think it's like in podcast form? You think I could find it on like
I don't know. Uh,
Spotify or because it would make sense
yeah.
as a podcast, you know?
Yeah, as a podcasting. I mean, it's
Like
just
where
like
you just had the audio version of it.
yeah, because I know because I'm a big Halo fan.
Hmm.
Except the show, that show sucks. But
Well, that makes you a
but
fan.
so before the fifth game came out, Halo 5 Guardians, they had this kind of like audio drama kind of podcasting
Hmm.
on SoundCloud called Hunt for the Truth. And basically, it was just like a narration of this war journalist
Hmm.
who's like going through and doing basically like a documentary story on the Master Chief. like
Okay.
his whole life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But dude, it is so good. It's still on SoundCloud. You can go look for it.
I love
There's like
that.
2 seasons worth. But dude, that
Yeah.
storyline, like, it's so cool because you get the aspect of, all right, this is the hero we all know and love. But once he like gets into it, like all the background stuff, all the stuff that was written out that wasn't public, all the shady stuff that went on, like a bunch of deep aspect stuff to where he's all like kind of changing how he's viewing the Master Chief and Oni and stuff like that. And so like it turns really kind of dark almost through it.
That's cool though, because like that really I think scratches an itch for people, for most of us who like get into something,
Yeah.
and you like you want to see like the background of stuff.
Yeah.
Like if I'm watching a movie and I kind of go, oh man, who is that person? I've seen them before. I'm gonna go on Google and look up IMDb and find their like whole background. Or if
Yeah.
like I'm really into a like a movie or a show, and if they have like a separate podcast or like YouTube, like or even yeah,
Yeah.
just YouTube stuff, like finding behind the scenes stuff, or like people who talk about stuff on the like that goes a little deeper into it, because I'm also into it enough to find
Yeah.
the extra stuff, and so
Extra
they're
stuff.
they're building the extra stuff for you to kind of like flesh out a world that like
Yeah.
doesn't technically exist but makes it feel like it exists,
Yeah.
and to have the
Gives it more
forethought
like
to kind of
depth and like,
yeah, depth and some sort
yeah.
of like grounds it into a pretend reality. You think it,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like that's I think that's how a lot of us function and live now these days, because
Yeah.
we're like looking. I mean, you're on Reddit
Yeah.
looking at how do you get a microphone into a pin? Like
Yeah.
that's brilliant, dude. I love it.
And there is a stage play that happened.
No, Joey, no.
Yeah.
Don't joke with me, Joey. It's too early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? You got to get up pretty early in the morning. Actually, no, you don't have to get up pretty early in the morning. To get one. Have you seen any images or video of this? Because what does it
So
look like?
so the stage play is called All Taxi Diamonds Will Not Be Damaged. And basically it's a prologue. So in the beginning of the show, we see glimpses of a girl group that's singing the song. Because in
Yeah.
the intro, it's just that song about the girl group. So that girl group is going to be a main part of the story. And so this prologue is like essentially about that group. Because like I
Oh.
said, that group is going to play kind of they're key in this whole story.
Oh wow. Dang, dude. Like, see, not one bit of it is just like brushed over.
Yeah.
Like they really, every little bit is something. So
Something.
is this stage play like a musical then? Does it play like a musical because they are a
I think so.
musical
Like
band?
I've been trying to look for it. I was able to find like the images and stuff. I think I found some video. But I gotta go double check and make sure.
I
Uh,
gotta see what this looks like,
yeah,
man. You
but
know,
it's pretty good.
my
Like I
home,
said, the ending of this whole thing, dude, it's wild.
is it
Like
good? Okay,
the
so we could go ahead and get into this. Are we ready for this? Guac talk this thing?
Guac Toxins thing up.
Or do we need to talk about this video game that's coming out?
Uh, That'll be the game, but I can't give you the idea of
hmm
why this was come about.
hmm
So the director, Baku Kishinota, this was his directorial debut. So this is like the first thing he directed
Oh
was
wow.
this anime. So I found this interview. You can go look it up on Crunchyroll. It was an interview they did with Kishimoto. And so they asked him, about the stuff and about the story. And he said, with this being his directorial debut, he always wanted to do a drama story with the animals.
hmm
And
Yeah.
so I'm kind of just paraphrasing what he said. So he said, I wanted to kind of do a drama story with animals. He's like, I gave the idea to producer. We kind of worked out some kinks, got an idea. And then Kazuya Konomoto, who's the writer, was in on the project. We threw it to him. He kicked back some ideas. And this is how we all came up with the idea of human, anamorphic animals
hmm
as a design and the story of how we came up with this. So all three working together, brainstorming, kind of came up with the whole idea of All Taxi.
Yeah. Is
And
this okay?
little key thing, so everything they pre-recorded all the voices before the animation
Oh, interesting.
because one of the things he said is they pre-recorded it so they could get a better feel for the mood, for the tone, for the vibe of the whole show. Like it kind of actually helped them with animating, kind of pre-recording, so they could get like have it out there and kind of get the feel like, okay, this is how it's feeling right now with the tone, with how the characters are interacting with the voices. So this is the kind of tone we need to create for that moment.
That's cool. I like that a lot. Yeah, it makes me think that I mean, how many different ways that shows like this could come about, or like the way
Yeah,
they do the whole like there's the stuff Wes Anderson would do where they
yeah,
actually like they recorded the audio in
yeah.
an
In an
area,
area, yeah, like
but
outside in the field, or
yeah, if they're recording on a motorcycle, they just
yeah,
had
have,
George Clooney sitting
yeah,
on an
yeah,
actual motorcycle, stuff like that.
yeah,
You know, like to really get them in it, and
yeah,
then that dictated because he has a very specific vision. But it
yeah,
seems like this guy is like, you know what, I'm gonna let this kind of come about organically and feel
yeah,
natural, and I think that's what kind of lends itself to the tone of the whole thing, like in a very positive way because
yeah,
it feel like I said like the pacing feels really good and it feels decently grounded, especially for there being
yeah,
for it to be animated animals. It's
yeah.
you know, it's just
Yeah.
I didn't expect. I was caught off. I was caught by surprise with this show. So
All right, well,
uh
let's squawk talk this real quick.
let's guac talk the show. I love it. You know, it caught me by surprise. I did not expect to. Like, I feel like I could just kind of just throw it on and have to pay attention a little bit to it.
Yeah,
I think there's a level of like how much you want to pay attention to really like I feel like I can really invest into it and have some payoff or have some like like oh
yeah,
this is it's not just silliness like
yeah.
there is
Like this
that
little setup paid off right here.
yeah, there's going to be some satisfaction to this
Yeah,
show that I think, unlike some other shows where you're just kind of like watching for the fire and the flames and stuff like that, like this is like, oh, I want to kind of figure this out. Like,
yeah.
I'm along for this kind of, this mystery.
Murder mystery. I want to see
Murder.
who it is. Yeah.
And the fact that I like the way it all looks helps me. Because we watched the, what was the one that we watched before with the other animals and that
Uh,
mystery?
DNA,
B and A? No, no, not B and A.
B
The other one,
stars.
B stars. B stars. It kind of has the same feel.
Yeah,
There's a murder mystery, but I don't know. There's something about this show that has me more invested. I
yeah,
just feel it. I don't know but what to put my how to put my how to quantify that
yeah,
and why I feel this way. But it just there's something tonally that's going on
yeah.
that has me intrigued. So. I don't know if I want to say anything else about it. You watched all this show, so you know
Yeah.
how this goes.
Yeah. Tell you that ending, dude.
So good,
Good
worth it.
and crazy.
Okay, okay.
Dude.
And especially now that you've watched it, you're watching it
Yeah.
again. You pick up on the stuff that they're like, oh, like
Yeah, the previous so it's like
that's
that's why
something.
I said like dialogue is key
Okay.
in this when watching it, and because there's lines that are said that will come back at the very end. You're like, okay, that's why this part was said. Like, there's little stuff here and there, like I said, with the dialogue, minus the main like subplot of the mystery for the girl and stuff.
hmm
There's other parts to this.
Well, I mean, if I were to rank it, and I don't know what to rank it by, maybe that little duck trinket that he has hanging from
But
his window.
yeah,
I want that little duck.
the
Like that little like
yeah.
I think it's like a little duck in like a little vest
Yeah.
or
Which, by the way, I see a lot of Jeeps with the little rubber ducks all across the dashboard here.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is that just a Jeep thing?
I don't know. I don't know, but you can get them tiny though.
Yeah.
And you could buy a million of them. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen this? You could duck somebody, you take them and you
Yeah.
put them all over their
Put
house and
them
hide
all in
them.
your, yeah.
From one to a million ducks,
How many ducks?
I'm gonna give this at least 999,000 ducks, dude. Like it's a solid show. Like it's I was it has to do well to surprise me,
Yeah.
for me to go, okay, like this is not what I thought it was. And of course I try to have no expectations going into it. But for it to kind of catch me by surprise and for me to be as invested as I feel right now into it, I'm gonna put it on the list. I'm gonna keep watching, man. I like the show a lot. So kudos to you, Joe Bangles. Welcome
Bam.
to the jungle, guys.
Welcome to the jungle.
I'm here. We're here. We out
We
here
are here
in the
for
jungle.
in the jungle. Oh, guys, and if you love being in the jungle, show us by giving those 5 stars on this podcast, guys.
That's this many.
Because that's this many. 1, 2. Even though you can't see our
You
hands,
can't see it. Look at
just
that. Five.
look at your hand.
Five.
Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how many stars you
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
give
yeah. And
us.
if you're a woodworker, take off your shoes, count
Take
your
off your
toes.
shoes. Yeah. Oh, guys, and also drop some comments down below. Let us know what you thought if you've seen Off Taxi, or if you haven't, let us know who you think is happening. What do you let us know?
Oh,
Give us your
yeah,
ideas. Let us know.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Put your detective hat on and
Yeah,
get Sherlock Holmes on
but
this.
don't spoil it though,
Yeah,
please.
if you've seen it, don't spoil it. For all
Hmm.
our newcomers, just let us know your best guess.
Uh-huh.
And also drop comments for those recommendations down there, guys, because I watched this because my friend recommended it to me a long time ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And
he
we're
told
recommending it.
me. Yeah, and now we're recommending it, guys, because
Hmm.
that's how this works. We get recommended animes, we watch it, we love it, we give it to y'all so y'all can watch it and love it. So if you have one that you think nobody's seen or is kind of obscure, give us that name in the comments. We'll go review it, talk about it, and we'll be able to share it with everybody in the world. And also, if you're trying to get your friends into anime too, but don't know where to start, you can show them our podcast. Say, hey, these guys are talking about what it's like to get into anime. They got all these different shows, or if there's a specific one you're trying to get into, we have an episode about it. Let them know, or, hey, go watch this episode. These guys are talking about getting into it. They can point you in the right direction. And also, just give us all the likes too, guys, because that's what we need to. We need the stars and the likes, guys. They go hand in hand, my
Like
friends.
us. I need it for my
I
soul.
need it for my
I
soul.
need validation.
All right, guys. And also go follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Anime Meatpod, where you find clips of our episodes and stay up to date on stuff we got going on. Because I don't know if you've been seeing all our little clips we've been posting, guys. There's something coming on.
Something special.
Something special coming, guys. So you really want to be here for that. All right, guys. Well, other than that, this has been Anime Meatpod. I've been your angel with my co-host Sal, and we will see you on the next one. Liz.
Peace.